Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we're diving into a whirlwind of revelations, desperate negotiations, and heroic interventions that promise to keep Port Charles on edge. In the heart of Port Charles, the pieces of a dark puzzle are starting to fall into place as law enforcement digs deeper into a string of shocking crimes. The team at the PCPD is laser-focused on linking the dots between the brazen attempted murder of a prominent local figure and the cold-blooded killing of a respected judge. This investigation isn't just about solving isolated incidents. It's about uncovering a potential web of conspiracy that could shake the foundations of the community. Imagine the tension in the air as detectives pore over evidence, from ballistic reports to shadowy motives, all while racing against time to prevent further chaos. With suspects lurking in every corner, the pressure is mounting to identify if a single mastermind is pulling the strings, perhaps aiming to manipulate justice itself for personal gain. Over at the Davis residence, tensions are boiling over in an unexpected hostage situation that's straight out of a thriller novel. Rick Lansing finds himself in a precarious spot, literally tied down in the basement as a guest who can't leave. Ava Jerome, ever the sharp and calculating force, is venting her frustrations to Christina Corinthos Davis, insisting that they must resolve this mess immediately. The core issue revolves around financial bonds that Rick mishandled, draining funds that aren't yet accessible due to their maturation timeline. Ava's urgency suggests she's plotting a bold move, perhaps confronting Rick directly, or seeking alternative ways to reclaim what's hers, like leveraging hidden assets or calling in favors from old allies. Christina, caught off guard, can only respond with a silent shake of her head, her downward gaze betraying a mix of disbelief and worry about the escalating family drama. This standoff adds layers of intrigue, hinting at deeper secrets within the Corinthos clan that could unravel long-standing alliances. Meanwhile, at the PCPD headquarters, Commissioner Anna Devane is in full command mode, briefing her top detectives Harrison Chase and Dante Falconeri on the dual mysteries at hand. The attempted assassination of Drew Cain, a man with deep ties to the Quartermain Empire, pairs disturbingly with the murder of Judge Eva Heron, whose rulings have influenced countless lives in Port Charles. Chase raises a crucial point, questioning whether these acts are interconnected, possibly orchestrated by the same perpetrator to sow confusion or frame an innocent party. Anna, with her wealth of experience from international intrigue, guides the discussion toward piecing together timelines, alibis, and forensic clues. New details emerge, such as suspicious communications logs and eyewitness accounts that point to a hired operative with a grudge. The detectives brainstorm scenarios where the crimes align, like a vendetta against key players in an upcoming trial, building a case that feels like assembling a jigsaw puzzle with missing edges. This collaborative effort underscores the PCPD's determination to restore order, even as personal stakes heighten the emotional intensity. Shifting to a more personal crisis, Molly Lansing Davis is pulled away from a heartfelt conversation with her sister Christina by an urgent interruption. Earlier, while discussing family matters involving young Scout Cain, Molly ignored a call from Cody Bell, the rugged stable hand known for his adventurous spirit. But now, a text message flashing 911 on her screen sends alarm bells ringing. Her expression shifts to one of genuine concern as she mutters, 911? What's going on? Speculation runs wild. Could Cody be in physical danger, perhaps injured while tending to horses at the Quartermain stables? Or is this a distress signal about something bigger, like discovering a runaway child attempting a daring escape on horseback from a nearby summer camp? Molly's legal mind kicks in, weighing the possibilities of emergencies that demand her expertise, from potential legal entanglements to family secrets bubbling to the surface. This unexpected twist injects a dose of urgency into Molly's day, forcing her to balance her professional duties with the unpredictable chaos of Port Charles life. At General Hospital, the atmosphere is thick with worry as Alexis Davis confers with Willow Tate about the baffling disappearance of Scout Cain. With Drew sidelined by his recent shooting, Willow steps up as Scout's official guardian, but a frantic call from the summer camp reveals the girl has vanished without a trace. Alexis arrives equipped with a bag of Scout's belongings, favorite toys, clothes, and comforting items to aid in the search, while nurse Elizabeth Weber offers her home as a safe haven for both Willow and the missing child once found. The nanny's cluelessness adds to the mystery, and they rule out involvement from Scout's brother Danny, who wouldn't risk such a bold move. Perplexed, Alexis poses the burning question, where'd she go? Theories abound, from Scout wandering off in search of adventure to more sinister possibilities. Like a kidnapping tied to Drew's enemies, Willow's maternal instincts flare, prompting a detailed review of camp security footage and recent visitor logs, while Alexis draws on her journalistic background to probe for clues. This subplot highlights the vulnerabilities of family bonds in a town rife with danger, where even children aren't immune to the shadows of adult conflicts. Far from the familiar streets of Port Charles, in the luxurious yet perilous confines of the Five Poppies resort in Dalmatia, Croatia, Josslyn, Jax, and her companion Vaughn remain trapped in a high-stakes captivity. Josslyn, never one to back down, employs a clever tactic by dangling a bargaining chip in front of their guard. With a steely gaze, she challenges, "Is this job worth your life?" Having eavesdropped on conversations revealing a mysterious big boss orchestrating the operation, Josslyn implies dire consequence Spurfup's elimination by their own superiors, or incoming WSB rescuers if harm comes to them. She paints a vivid picture of the risks, suggesting that releasing them could lead to mercy or even a reward, while holding firm might invite fatal repercussions. Vaughn supports her play, adding subtle nods to reinforce the threat of international forces closing in. This negotiation scene crackles with tension, showcasing Josslyn's resourcefulness and hinting at broader geopolitical intrigue, involving espionage networks that extend beyond Port Charles. Back in town, at the WSB field office, Jack Brennan seethes with rage during a heated phone call, his frustration boiling over as he uncovers betrayal within his ranks. The revelation that Colette Moreau is a double agent shatters trust, and Brennan likely vents to a higher-up, demanding swift action. His voice thunders, "Our agents are blown, they could be dead already." Slamming down the phone, he grapples with the fallout, including the daunting task of breaking devastating news to Carly Spencer. If Josslyn's involvement in WSB operations leads to tragedy, invented elements here include Brennan reviewing encrypted files that expose Moreau's dual loyalties, perhaps tied to a rival syndicate aiming to destabilize global operations. This moment amplifies the high stakes of undercover work, blending personal loyalties with professional duties in a way that could redefine alliances in Port Charles. As Jason Morgan gears up for a daring rescue mission, positioning himself as the ultimate ride to the rescue, the episode builds toward climactic confrontations that promise twists, turns, and emotional reckonings for all involved. Next, we will learn about the thrilling parallels between a classic TV mystery and the latest drama unfolding in Port Charles. Echoes of iconic TV mysteries. Soap operas thrive on suspenseful twists that keep audiences hooked, and ABC's General Hospital is currently captivating fans with its gripping question, who pulled the trigger on Drew Cain? As the residents of Port Charles grapple with the fallout from this brazen attack, seasoned viewers are reminiscing about a legendary precedent from television history, the infamous Who Shot JR saga from Dallas. This timeless cliffhanger not only dominated conversations, but also set a benchmark for dramatic storytelling in serialized dramas. In General Hospital's case, the shooting of Drew Cain mirrors that intensity, blending personal vendettas, family betrayals, and shadowy motives into a web of intrigue that has everyone speculating wildly. Revisiting Dallas's legendary cliffhanger. Back in the spring of 1980, Dallas electrified the airwaves when J.R. Ewing, the cunning and manipulative oil tycoon who embodied villainy, was ambushed with gunfire in his lavish office. Portrayed as a man whose ruthless business tactics and personal indiscretions alienated nearly everyone around him, J.R. became the ultimate target for revenge. The episode left fans in suspense over an agonizing summer hiatus, turning the mystery into a global sensation that transcended television. Casinos in glittering hubs like Las Vegas and historic London even launched betting operations, assigning probabilities to each potential culprit and fueling endless debates in households and workplaces alike. Imagine the excitement as people placed wagers on who might have finally taken down the Ewing patriarch, with odds fluctuating based on episode hints and fan theories. Among the prime suspects was Sue Ellen Ewing, J.R.'s resilient yet tormented spouse, who had endured countless humiliations from his extramarital affairs and emotional cruelty. Her simmering resentment, built over years of betrayal, painted her as a woman pushed to her limits, perhaps ready to reclaim her dignity through drastic means. Then there was Kristen Shepard, Sue Ellen's own sister and J.R.'s secretive lover, whose affair ended in heartbreak when he callously discarded her, leaving her in a vulnerable state with an unexpected pregnancy that amplified her desperation for justice. Financial grudges added another layer, with banker Von Leland seeking payback after being duped in a fraudulent oil scheme. That cost him dearly, his professional reputation in tatters. Dusty Farlow, entangled in a romantic liaison with Sue Ellen, harbored deep-seated hatred for the man who continually mistreated the woman he cared for, making him a wild card driven by passion and protection. The family dynamics intensified the suspicion, as Cliff Barnes, a long-standing rival from a competing clan, nursed grudges from business clashes that spanned generations, his animosity rooted in both professional sabotage and personal slights. Even JR's own mother, the matriarch Miss Ellie, emerged as an unlikely contender in some theories, her quiet disapproval of his antics suggesting hidden depths of frustration. When the resolution finally arrived in the episode aptly titled Whodunit, on a crisp November evening in 1980, the revelation that Kristen Shepard was the shooter shattered expectations and drew an astonishing audience of over 80 million viewers worldwide. This monumental viewership not only shattered records, but also embedded Dallas in the annals of pop culture, inspiring merchandise, parodies, and even political discussions about media influence. General Hospital's modern twist on suspense. Shifting to the present day, General Hospital is masterfully channeling that same formula of high-stakes drama with Drew Cain at the center of a violent enigma. Once revered as a valiant Navy SEAL and a pillar of loyalty in Port Charles, Drew's recent descent into manipulation, deceit, and relational chaos has transformed him into a polarizing figure with a roster of adversaries, eager for retribution. His actions have fractured alliances and ignited feuds, creating a fertile ground for suspicion where almost anyone could be the perpetrator. The shooting, executed in a moment of calculated precision, has left the town in turmoil, with investigators piecing together clues amid a sea of alibis and hidden agendas. From allies to adversaries, Curtis and his circle. Consider Curtis Ashford, who once shared an unbreakable brotherhood with Drew, forged through shared trials and mutual respect. That camaraderie has eroded into outright enmity, exacerbated by Drew's underhanded tactics like blackmailing Portia Robinson and orchestrating the arrest of the beloved Stella Henry. These betrayals culminated in a heated confrontation where Curtis barged into Drew's domain, issuing veiled threats that hinted at deeper rage. One can't help but wonder if Curtis's protective instincts, honed from his detective background, pushed him toward a more permanent solution to safeguard his loved ones. Portia, caught in the crossfire of infidelity and scandalically alibied by her clandestine rendezvous with Isaiah Gannon, harbors her own grievances, her medical expertise perhaps lending a strategic edge to any vengeful plot. Stella, with her no-nonsense wisdom and family loyalty, represents the moral outrage that could boil over into action against Drew's tyranny. The Corinthos clan, betrayal and blood ties. Michael Corinthos stands out with a motive as clear as daylight. His life upended by Drew's interference that shattered his marriage and threatened his role as a father. Drew's persistent meddling in custody matters and family affairs has left Michael seething, potentially at a breaking point where retribution feels justified. His mother, Carly Corinthos, embodies fierce maternal protection, her history of bold confrontations making her a formidable suspect. Having once shared a romantic connection with Drew, Carly's warnings carried a lethal undertone, suggesting she might eliminate the threat to her son's happiness without remorse, her resourcefulness in crises adding to the plausibility. Sonny Corinthos, the enigmatic mob boss with a code of his own, views Drew as an escalating nuisance disrupting the family's equilibrium. Drew's alliance with the shadowy operative Sidwell, aimed at exiling Sonny from Port Charles, echoes the kind of territorial wars Sonny has navigated before. With a track record of decisive, often violent resolutions to conflicts, Sonny's involvement wouldn't surprise those familiar with his protective empire building, perhaps enlisting discreet associates to handle the dirty work, while maintaining plausible deniability. Alexis and the extended family's wrath. Alexis Davis finds herself ensnared in Drew's web of restrictions, his draconian measures like restraining orders barring her and relatives including Christina, Molly, Danny, and Rocca from accessing his daughter Scout. This paternal overreach, perceived as unfit and controlling, has fueled collective fury within the family, each member potentially motivated to strike back in defense of their bonds. Christina's impulsive nature, Molly's legal acumen, and the younger one's innocent stakes amplify the emotional stakes, turning a custody battle into a powder keg of potential violence. Nina's desperate measures. Nina Reeves grapples with the wreckage of her bond with daughter Willow, attributing the rift squarely to Drew's influence. The pain intensifies as Willow contemplates reconciliation with him, pushing Nina toward extremes in her quest to shield her child from further harm. Her resourcefulness in business and personal schemes could translate into a calculated act of desperation, reinventing her role from victim to avenger in this tangled narrative. Sidwell's sinister connections. The enigmatic Sidwell emerges as a wild card, his criminal undertakings intersecting suspiciously with the shooting. On the same fateful night, a bribed judge met an untimely end, raising questions about orchestrated cleanups. Sidwell's world of espionage and deals might include eliminating liabilities like Drew, whose alliances could unravel his operations, adding a layer of international intrigue to the local mystery. Willow's hidden turmoil. Surprisingly, Willow Tate herself isn't above suspicion, her world destabilized by Drew's promises and failures regarding her children. The shooter's distinctive short-haired outline tantalizingly matches her profile, though soap opera tropes often use such obvious clues as misdirection. If Drew's efforts falter, Willow's quiet strength might erupt into unforeseen action, blending vulnerability with resolve in a bid for stability. Next, we will learn about the night that rocked Port Charles, the mysterious shooting of Drew Cain, and the shadow it casts over Michael Corinthos. Michael's rain-soaked return raises questions. The evening begins with thunder rolling across the harbor, drenching the Quartermain estate in sheets of rain. Hours later, Michael Corinthos arrives home, clothes plastered to his skin, hair dripping onto the foyer's marble floor. His uncle Ned offers a dry towel, but Michael waves him off and heads straight for the nursery, where Brooklyn hums a lullaby to restless Wiley. That soaked entrance is more than poor timing with the weather. It hints that Michael was somewhere he should not have been, outside Drew's townhouse. At the precise moment a single gunshot echoed through the neighborhood. Why Michael went to Drew's doorstep. Earlier that day, Michael received a curt text from Drew. "Stay out of my business with Willow, or you'll regret it." Already furious over Drew's attempts to restrict Willow's contact with the children, Michael decided to confront him face to face. He left the mansion around dusk, driving through pelting rain and rehearsing every angry word he planned to unleash. Yet by the time Michael reached Drew's driveway, something stalled him. A second car he recognized, a black sedan often seen outside Curtis Ashford's office, was parked across the street. Michael killed his headlights, slid out of the vehicle, and approached on foot, curiosity edging outrage. A flash, a bang, and footsteps in the dark. Through the half-closed blinds of Drew's study window, Michael spotted two silhouettes arguing fiercely. One figure gestured wildly, the other kept a hand hidden beneath a trench coat. Then came the flash of muzzle fire, accompanied by a deafening crack that sent a flock of pigeons scattering from nearby eaves. The taller silhouette crumpled to the floor. Frozen in shock, Michael backed away, slipped on wet gravel, and stumbled behind a hedge just as the shooter bolted from the house. Did Michael see the killer? Rain blurred his line of sight, but Michael caught fragments: medium height, athletic build, a dark mask pulled low, and most intriguing Gliliong braids peeking from beneath a hood. His heart pounded. Colette Moreau wears her braids that way, yet Willow had borrowed a similar hoodie earlier that week to jog by the river. In the split second before the shooter sped away in a black sedan, Michael glimpsed a charm bracelet glinting in a flash of lightning. Tiny gold initials CM. Was it definitive proof of Colette's guilt, or a plant meant to misdirect? Michael's silent struggle. Returning to the mansion, Michael's mind raced. If Colette had shot Drew, exposing her could protect Willow from suspicion, but place the children's nanny and Wiley's beloved Aunt Letty behind bars. If Willow herself pulled the trigger, the truth would shatter their family. Worse yet, if neither woman was responsible and Michael had misread the scene, speaking up might condemn an innocent friend and ruin his credibility with the PCPD. So he chose silence for now. Curtis Ashford's suspicious vehicle. The sedan's presence ties Curtis to the scene. Curtis has every reason to resent Drew for blackmailing Portia and orchestrating Aunt Stella's arrest. He could have driven Colette, offered cover, or simply followed Drew that night, hoping to catch him in wrongdoing. Security cameras at a nearby gas station later captured Curtis fueling the same sedan. Less than 20 minutes after the shooting, when questioned, Curtis claimed he was meeting a confidential informant. Detectives remain unconvinced. Alexis Davis and the missing revolver. At the same time, Alexis Davis reported her antique revolver stolen from the safe in her Metro Court suite. The theft occurred within the same 2-hour window as the shooting. Although Alexis willingly gave her fingerprints and cooperated fully, The missing weapon complicates matters, especially since ballistics indicate Drew was shot with a vintage .38, identical to Alexis's heirloom piece. Willow's alibi or lack thereof. Willow spent the evening grading papers in the boathouse, or so she told Brooklyn earlier. Yet the boathouse fireplace was cold, and no papers were found. A muddy footprint matching Willow's shoe size appeared on the boathouse pier, suggesting she left during the storm. When confronted, Willow admitted she took a short walk to clear her head, but refused to say where. Colette Moreau under the microscope. Colette, meanwhile, arrived late to her overnight shift with the children, offering the excuse that a fallen tree blocked Harborview Road. Highway patrol logs confirmed debris on that route, but satellite data shows her phone pinged near Drew's townhouse at the crucial moment. She claims she lent the phone to Christina Davis to arrange a surprise for Scout's birthday. Yet Christina insists she never saw Colette that night. Michael's dilemma intensifies. Detective Chase stops by the mansion the next morning for routine interviews. Michael, seated beside Willow, squeezes her hand as Chase asks if either of them visited Drew recently. Michael forces a polite smile and says he remained home all night. His lie buys time but gnaws at him. Each tick of the grandfather clock in the hallway echoes the shot he witnessed. Potential fallout for the court remains. If Michael's secret leaks, family alliances could crumble. Ned would berate him for obstructing justice. Carly would praise his loyalty, but worry about legal repercussions. Monica, heartbroken, might bar Michael from ELQ board meetings. Even Wiley could sense the tension, asking why Daddy looks sad when watching the evening news. Curtain raiser on a courtroom showdown. Port Charles braces for preliminary hearings. The DA's office prepares a list of persons of interest: Curtis, Alexis, Colette, and based on an anonymous tip, Willow. Unknown to everyone, that anonymous tip came from Sidwell. Eager to divert attention from his own financial feud with Drew, Sidwell's forged bank transfers, uncovered post-shooting, revealed Drew planned to expose Sidwell in the next day's newspaper op-ed. Motive, means, and a talent for framing others make Sidwell an invisible puppeteer, manipulating from the shadows. What comes next? Forensics. Trace rainfall diluted most physical evidence, but a partial shoe print inside Drew's study might match an expensive designer brand Curtis recently purchased. Digital trails. A deleted voice memo on Drew's phone recovered by tech expert Damien's spinal records. Drew shouting, "You think you can waltz in here and threaten my family?" Followed by footsteps. Then the gunshot. The voice of the intruder is muffled, yet a faint ringtone of Wiley's favorite cartoon theme plays just afterward. A tone set on Colette's phone months ago. Ethical crossroads. Michael must choose between protecting loved ones and honoring his moral code. Telling the truth could clear innocent names, but risk tearing his family apart. As storm clouds still hover over Port Charles, every revelation spawns to new questions. Did Michael truly see Colette Moreau squeeze the trigger? Or did the lightning-lit scene trick his eyes? Could Willow's unexplained walk implicate her despite Michael's wishful thinking? Or does Curtis's sedan and Alexis's missing revolver point to a larger conspiracy? One certainty remains: silence never stays buried in this town for long. And when the truth surfaces, it will reshape destinies from the Quartermain mansion to the farthest docks on the harbor. Stay tuned as the investigation deepens and loyalties face their ultimate test on General Hospital.